I'm Ed Cunliff. I'm a faculty member in the Adult Education and Safety Sciences department, and I teach in the area of adult and higher education. Well, in the good old days, you could have said it started around the water cooler, but since we don't have water coolers anymore, it started around the printer, shared printer. And it was really just a couple of us talking about education and learning and things that we're always concerned with. And somehow, I don't know exactly how, but it led into the discussion of some of the newer things that are coming out. And I know I've been very impressed in the last probably 7 to 10 years with how much more we're knowing about the brain than we used to, and how that impacts or potentially can impact what we do in the classroom. And in the early days of a lot of the brain studies, they were based on traumatized brains. So you'd be in a car accident, they'd pull out your brain and look at it, and oh, that side's messed up. And that's why he or she couldn't speak. But probably 15 years ago, I guess, there was a group formed. There have been several groups, but the International Mind-Brain Education Society formed with the intention of bringing together what was going on in the neurosciences, cognitive sciences, and educators. So the idea there was to, how do we bridge this gap before it broadens? So I would say that's what we're looking at with the embodied brain is how do we see this in students, how do we see it in ourselves, and how do we translate that as educators into the classroom? So I think what we hope with these videos is that they'll be a good introduction and maybe they'll pique the curiosity of other faculty members that might have an interest in neuroscience, but thinking, oh, that won't work in my area, or that doesn't apply to this field. Because again, with this interdisciplinary group that we've got, we're seeing how musicians are using it, how kinesiologists are using it, how I use it in adult education. So I think the videos will give a very practical perspective on that. I think one of the exciting things for students about all of this, and one of the books we used as a faculty group initially was written for students, The New Science of Learning. And it really, it doesn't do the study skills that is often what you see in first year experiences for new students. But it really teaches them to own their own brain, to understand that, okay, so if I didn't sleep last night, it's not a big deal, I'm a little tired in class. No, that really has an impact on your ability to learn and retain information. Or if I didn't eat well or I didn't hydrate well, that really does impact how well they learn. And one of the phrases, and I can't remember if it's in that book or not, that I really, really like was a student telling a faculty member, it's kind of, oh, now I understand, now I really own my own brain. It's kind of, yeah, if we could do that, if students understood that when they come to us, we'd be miles ahead of where we are, and they would be as well. For students, what comes to my mind also is that, it would be grand if we could do that as part of their freshman experience. We've talked about this a lot amongst the mind-brain education group, but the ability to really incorporate some of this, not as an add-on, but really almost a replacement to some of the things. So, and I'm not talking bad about study skills, because I think those are important, but to couch it more in terms of this is something you have, you possess, it is yours, I can't be responsible for it. I can't necessarily give you a tool, I can maybe help you with tools, but ultimately you've got to apply them, and you've got to take care of yourself in order for learning to occur.